So Raw happened, and it was in the UK. Yeah, nothing much happened on this show, by the way. This is supposed to be the go-home show to Clash of in Paris, and nothing freaking happened. Nothing. Zero. Nada. For a go-home show, this really felt like just a freaking glorified house show. Just because WWE, they're in the UK, they're doing international Raws now, with the help of Netflix, which thank God, by the way, the show was early in the day rather than, being like, typical 8 p.m. and we wouldn't really need to waste our time to watch this show type of deal. We could do something elsewhere and enjoy our lives, enjoy maybe the night, which I did, thankfully, hang out with some friends or whatever. This Raw though, I mean, thankfully I was able to watch most of it at work. Just kill two birds in one stone, and yeah, let's just say this show I was not a big fan of, and I'm glad that got this shit over with. The show started with Roman Reigns. He acknowledges the crowd and says that he's no longer the same man he was before. And the fans were saying, yes you are. Like, what, you want him to be the bad guy? I don't know. He no longer has the bloodline or the undisputed WWE title. He says the Vision found a way to continue to disrespect by beating him down and taking his shoes. And then Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed came out and how, he's the tribal thief. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Roman, but you're all alone and must face the owner of the Shulafala, the tribal thief at Clash in Paris. And then Bronson says that I am the Samoan Roman dad and the uncle that you wanted to have, and I vow you to acknowledge your tribal thief. And then Roman's like, you're Samoan? I own you. Which, okay, that was kind of funny. And then, screw it, I'm gonna go get what's mine. And then he basically and handle some business. And yeah, little kind of typical pull apart brawl type of deal, which is not really that exciting in all honesty. But hey, whatever, But that was all from the show. It's announced that tonight it'll be LA Knight versus Braun Breaker. They always use Braun Breaker as like the sort of muscle, right? Which I understand. And I do think Braun Breaker clearly is being built up, which is a good thing. The problem is, though, it's the typical one-on-one match main event where Braun Breaker, he's going to fulfill Rollins, and it's like, really? It's kind of the same shit at this point. Dragon Lee defeats JD McGee, whatever. We then see Grayson Waller gets at Cody Graves to sign a petition to ban the Penta Destroyer. Kofi Kingston, by the way, defeated Penta. Yeah, so much for the specialty of Penta, whatever. And Kofi, So Kofi, after jobbing as this failure of a heel tag team, now I don't know. Adam Pearce announces that Stephanie Vaquer will get her women's title shot, but won't be no longer Clash in Paris because of the whole complicated. I thought, wait a minute, didn't they announce last week that they were gonna announce plans for the fucking women's title match, and now you decided you're not gonna do anything at Clash in Paris? This is so easy. They could easily do, or there's easily ways of how they could go around it. You have apparently EO was supposed to get a title shot. Rhea wants to get a title shot. They could easily do some stupid triple threat, even though I wouldn't care for it. Or Fatal 4 with Roxanne. They could easily have done also another battle royal. They could have done another battle royal. I don't know, some specialty match, something. They could easily have Seth Vaquer versus wins against the winner of the battle royal. It could have been EO. It could have been freaking Rhea, something that happened on this show. Just something. And they could have easily had a women's title match at the fucking show. You had a week to figure this shit out. This supposed creative team that we have couldn't even think of something for their fucking pay-per-view. And think about it. Fans who are of Stephanie Vaquer won't be able to see her hot sexy ass at freaking Clash of Paris. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing? Instead, we're gonna get Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella at Clash at Paris. We had Becky Lynch. She says, I had my first tryout here. It was great. And then I'm happy that I finally left this dump of a town. I wish I'd never come back. You guys had a person. You guys had a. If I was from Birmingham, I would want to die too. So she kind of referred to Ozzy Osbourne, which is a nice little cheap heat. Apparently Ozzy's daughter's not happy with that, but hey, it's wrestling, so I have no problem with it. But then we get a shitty confrontation of Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch. This was definitely not comparable to what happened back in their, the big ownage about John Cena. Yeah, basically, I don't know. So Nikki Bella, she mentioned the C word. And what's the C word? Oh, not only you're a champion, but you would think this is Monday Night Raw, this is Netflix. You would call her a cunt, but no, she calls her a coward. Wow. Yeah, that's why. Wow, coward. Wow, very 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 insulty. A good way to get your your insult back, right? This was supposed. I don't even know, man. I don't know. Yeah, what a way to get your little bit of revenge of the big ownage that you got. I don't know. I don't know. It definitely wasn't even a big ownage. Let's be for real here. I'm trying to remember what else she mentioned. Oh, I just have to say this was just literally background noise at the workplace. This was just background noise. By the way, keep in mind I do want to say I did post something about my workplace. I'm kind of in a temporary location, which makes things a little hard right now. By the way, where I'm not really at my usual location. Long story. But yeah, basically that's what happened. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This broken. She mentioned stuff about her neck and blah blah blah. You want to replace me? You're just Charlotte's little sidekick. And then I'm Sports Illustrated's best wrestler, and we don't care what Sports Illustrated have to say. You're just desperate, and it's and then eventually, I don't know. If you have the balls, how about you defend the title? And then Nikki Bella takes Becky Lynch's title, even though it's not her, and then she places it on her hand, I'm gonna beat you and take this with me, and then they have a little brawl, it was not even a big brawl, and then Becky walks away. Whatever. We had Sheamus oh fella, Rusev, I want you to give it all you got because I'm gonna beat the living LS show. You're bang you on the asshole. I don't know. We then had I don't know if where's the CM Punk whatever. Where's this promo? Where's CM Punk's promo? What the fuck? I don't know. CM Punk cut a promo. I don't know where it is, but whatever. He cut a promo. And he says, everybody's going to be chanting CM Punk by the time I get my win or whatever. I understand that everyone's want to be on the same page, but I don't think I can trust anybody because I'm going to break everybody's faces. Nah, no, that's what happened. We get the Sheamus promo, and then the next match. I don't even know what happened, nor do I care about this match. Rhea Ripley, I don't know, she had a match. She defeated Roxanne Perez, and she got attacked by the Judgment Women, and then Io makes the save. How many times are you do this fucking match, by the way? AJ Styles defeats Finn Balor. This is the fucking endless Bullet Club leader match that no one... It's how many fucking times you're gonna do this bullshit, Then Bayley, she's hearing voices in her head to become either a hugger or some ding-dong Jay Leno bitch. Next week, Dominic's going to defend his stupid title against Styles. The matches are announced. We did have backstage where Jay Uso was with Roman. Roman was hyping him up basically. and that's like an unusual behavior type of deal. Then we see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they're coming to the ring, but then Roman Reigns goes to attack Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, but then Jey Uso makes the save. I think, was it Jey Uso? I don't know. LA Knight actually makes the save, I believe. And then LA Knight, and then the match is like official. LA Knight versus Braun Breaker. It started backstage, but then it leads to the ring. Like, you could have easily made this match like no DQ if or if you wanted the match to start, by the way, but whatever, that didn't happen. I thought that was the idea, but it didn't. But then eventually, yeah, like the match leads to the ring. Braun Breaker defeats LA Knight. Yeah, the guy who's gonna be in the fucking Fatal 4 match loses, but whatever. I guess because of the complaints of DQs, right? But whatever. Eventually, we see, Rollins costed LA Knight the match, attacks him, but then Jey Uso, then CM Punk, all the Fatal 4 guys come out, but get it? There's dissension between the fucking non-champions with Punk and LA Knight and Jey, and then eventually they all got super kicked, and Jey Uso stands tall. And then Rollins like, ha, 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 ha. But yeah, this was a terrible go-home show. Unexciting. This didn't feel like a go-home show at all. This was a glorified house show, if anything. Boring as hell. I'm just glad that the show was not, on a usual time frame where I could just basically had this as background noise and see what happened. Kill two birds, one stone. Because what a relief. This was definitely not even like the same. Like, at least when John Cena was like doing the UK, European tours or whatever, it was Cena around and people cared. There was not an ounce of care for this show, man. Like, that's what I have to say. But again, this is the problem with WWE. They're not exciting. They don't have any ounce of creative. Just like, and why should they when you have fans are still buying the stupid fucking tickets? So if they don't care, whatever. I don't know. Raw sucked. Till next time, peace. Yeah, bye.